I just want to talk to you about everything that's happening. There's so many changes. The economy, this coronavirus is just affecting everybody at this point. And so I just wanted to talk about that. So the champions are made in a crisis. All right. Before I jump in, if you're new to the group, welcome. Happy to have you. Again, if you guys are here, just say hello below so I can say hello to you. Right now, we are doing the Sink or Swim series, how to recession-proof your coaching business so you can thrive in any economy. Yesterday, you guys received the recession-proof client acquisition system that I have set up in my business and that I am teaching you guys so you can implement. I feel like right now, if you're home, even if the kids are home, discipline is going to be needed, and you're going to need to use this time to make sure you're implementing the right system, right? And you know who I'm talking to. You know if I'm speaking to you, right? Because you're somebody who knew about setting up these systems before. You know that you need a lead magnet. You know that you need email sequences to be able to nurture your leads. You know you need this. You just haven't taken the time to actually sit and do this. This is something that I feel a lot of coaches struggle with, is doing the tedious work that's going to get them the results, right? So you know you need this. You just haven't done it yet. And the whole point of this series that I'm doing is really to get you guys to see that right now is the time, because all the decisions and the moves that you make right now, while this pandemic is happening, while we are, going into another recession, while all of this is happening, the decisions that you make now is going to determine if you're going to thrive during this or if you are going to thrive after this, because this too shall pass, right? And when it's all said and done, there's going to be some people who they're going to be in a good position, and then there are going to be others who aren't, right? And so for me, I feel like now is the time for you to implement those type of systems. So yesterday it was about the system. Today, it's all about the moving part. So what do you need to make this system work in terms of your messaging, in terms of you positioning yourself as an authority? Make sure you guys go and watch these trainings. They're free. It is no obligation for you to book any appointments with me, but at least you're getting what you need. So make sure you watch these trainings. And then tomorrow, I focus on the main places you need to be focused on during this time, right? And so what you need to be focused on, I'm gonna give you a sneak peek. One of those things is in addition to what I was just talking about, which is knowing when you have to shift, knowing how to make the right decisions when these type of things are happening so you could benefit after, right? So y'all need to check out them trainings if you haven't. But anyway, let's talk. Champions are made in a crisis. Why am I talking about this? I have one client who last week she was offered furlough from her job, paid furlough. And if you guys don't know what that is, basically you can have a paid furlough or unpaid. So when a crisis like this happens, or when companies are laying off and you may be in a management position, your position may be secure. And so that means that they don't want to lay you off. They do want you to come back. So they offer you a furlough, whether it's paid or whether it's not paid. If you guys know what I'm talking about, give me a 1 below. If you guys have been offered that within the last couple of weeks, give me a 1 below. I've been reading different articles. A lot of the airline companies, they have had to lay off thousands of people. I have another client who, Olu, shout out to Olu, and she's in Nigeria. And one of the businesses she runs is ice. So she has a family business where she manufactures ice for events, because in Nigeria, they do a lot of events, right? And so she's the person that supplies that. And so because everyone is home, she had to close down her business. And this is happening everywhere. And I'm going to tell you something, that when this happens, your mindset is usually in a place where you feel defeated. You feel like, oh my gosh, I wasn't prepared for this. You feel like, what am I supposed to do now? You feel worried if you are going to get back to work or not. And it's very easy for you to go down this downhill spiral, okay, where you're just caught in all that negative thinking, all that, I'm gonna call it the woe is me trap. Okay. And why I can speak about this is because if you don't know anything about me, I am somebody that, grew, I left the New York City foster care system at 17 years old. I went AWOL, then got pregnant with my daughter, ended up having to be on, public assistance, Section 8, different ways for me to take care of myself and take care of my child. And so for me, I always felt like if something was always happening, like no matter what I did, it was just something was always throwing a wrench in the plan. But one of the things that I feel helped me to get to where I'm at right now is I never wallowed in it. I never fell into trap. So even if I felt down for about 10 minutes, I would cry. I was looking at, hey guys, you guys are here. Say hello, say hello. I was looking at the Facebook memories this morning while I was in bed and just looking at my daughter's page, right? And it was either last year or the year before Mother's Day, she wrote this message to me and I posted it on social media. And on the post, she said, Mom, you're such an inspiration because I would see that you would be crying and you would be going through things. And in 5 minutes, you would wipe your eyes and you would get yourself together and go on a stage and speak to people or hit a live stream and teach a training. And you never, as parents, you never think that your kids are seeing these things. But when she wrote that, I realized that, wow, I'm glad that she was able to see that even though the times that we went through hard times, I never allowed it to keep me down. Does that make sense? Like I might cry for 10 minutes. I might feel like, man, seriously, I'm laid off again. I would go through those feelings, but put my thinking caps on and think of what's the next step. What do I need to do? Right. And so that's what I mean when I say champions are made in a crisis, because crisis is happening all around you. But what you do, how you look at it, the decisions you make, where you put your focus right now is going to determine how much all of this chaos and crisis and all of these challenges, how much is going to affect you. Does that make sense? So anyway, champions are made in a crisis. And so if you are somebody who lately you can resonate with me and you have been feeling down, I'm going to say now is the time for you to snap into shape. And so that's why I created the Sink or Swim series, because I want to help you snap into shape. This ain't the time to be worried, right? One of my clients, shout out to Demetia, she works with corporate professionals. And I love this thing that she always says. She says, corporate is stable, but it's not loyal. Corporate is stable, but it's not loyal. Well, guess what, guys? Corporate ain't even stable right now. So not only is it not loyal, but there are some times when you can't control what's happening, like right now. But you can control where you put your attention. And so this is the time that you want to use to implement the right systems. This is the time that you want to use to get those dreams out that you've been holding on to, right? This is the time for you to release any excuses. I work with a lot of coaches. I speak to, and even the ones who don't work with me and the people who do sessions and y'all in my group, I reach out to you guys. And a lot of guys, you say, I don't have the time to do it. Oh my goodness, I know I'm supposed to go live, but I don't have time. I know that I need to create the system, but I don't have time. Well, now you got time, right? So if time was one of the get things done, now you have time. But then the next thing, and again, I like I said, I'm just here to check in with you guys. So I really haven't thought about what I'm speaking about. It's just, I guess I'm being inspired, right? Now you have the time, right? And even if you're one of those people who you have not been laid off, but you're working remotely, right? So maybe your company still has you working at home. I just got off of a session with my clients. One of them, Kim, was on, and she's one of those people who works in recruitment, and she's very busy. And especially now because of people being displaced or whatever, right? And so for her schedule is always tight. And one of the things she said before we got off the call right now was she told her team, just because you're working remotely doesn't mean that you don't take a lunch break. right? It doesn't mean that you work, 24/7 because you're working remotely. So this is where I want you guys to start thinking about what moves are you going to make and where you're going to put your time. And even if you're someone who's still working remotely, which I'm glad you are, because that means you're still getting a check, and that's good, right? If you're one of those people, then you got to develop discipline. You got to develop discipline because your job is not stable as you think. And if things get worse, which we really don't know, we hope it doesn't, we pray it doesn't. But if things get worse, don't you want to have your business in place where it can generate income for you? That's where you really create stability. See, when somebody else is controlling your income, then that's not stability. I just want to make sure you guys know that. The only way you could create stability and predictability in your income is when you're the one in control. So that means how much work you put in your business is what you get out, right? How much systems you set up so you can generate your appointments is how you're going to get clients out on the other side, right? So guys, champions are made in a crisis. So are you going to be a champion or are you going to cry about all of this? That's what you got to think about. And again, it's okay to feel sorry. It's okay. I'm not saying that that's not true feelings that's going to come up. I mean, for goodness sake, people are losing their lives. People are losing their jobs. Of course, this is in a negative way, but that don't mean you got to hold on to the negativity. The difference between people who make it and the people who don't is that when they get in times like this, they use it to fuel them, not to hold them back. They use it to fuel them. And I'm telling you, I know this oh so well. And it's not even about a recession. Like I said, my whole life was a roller coaster of problems, one thing after the other, one thing after the other. And now that I'm here and I look back, I'm like, you know what, Nyala? It wasn't that life was like that for you. It was your perspective and how you used to handle everything that kept making it be a chain reaction of problems. Because it's so funny that now I don't feel, the impact. Now, I'm not saying that I feel impact, but I don't feel it in the way where it has me defeated. Since this whole thing started, man, look, the Sink or Swim series is happening. Ain't nobody got time to sit down and say, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? No, you got to get into action now. Champions are made in a crisis, right? So anyway, like I said, I just wanted to check in with you guys, inspire you, empower you, let you know that you're not alone. If you know anyone who's sick, keep them in your prayers. If any of you need prayers, let us know in the group. We'll keep you in our prayers. I just want to encourage you guys to take action now. Action doesn't always mean investing all of your money, even though investing is going to be really important during this time, whether it's in stocks, whether it's in your knowledge, your higher learning, okay? Because knowledge is power, not information is power, and knowledge and information can be turned into money, right? So right now you should be working on developing skill sets that you can sell. And see, this is where I love the fact that, this is something that my mom always taught me. And I guess that's the reason why I was able to get through such a hard life and still I ain't never fell, right? I may have stumbled, right? But I've never fell. You understand? And that's because I understand that when you have skill sets, you can always make money. Knowledge is power. So right now, I'm not saying that you don't want to invest in learning what you don't know. But right now you want to invest time more than ever. That's what I'm saying. Okay. You want to invest time more than ever. Time to implement the right systems, time to get your business in position, time to start that business if you haven't already. You want to invest the time right now. You'll be very surprised of how your life can look in the next few months because you made the right decisions through this time. I hope that this has helped and I hope that this has inspired you. I'll speak to you guys soon. Okay.
Market your message.
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 Market your message.